To the next in our study of women of the Bible. Today we're returning to the New Testament and to the book of Romans. The first lady that we're looking at is Phoebe. So Phoebe was a Gentile Christian from the port city of Centuria. Her name, derived from Greek mythology, means pure or radiant as the moon. Paul described Phoebe as a servant, in the Greek diakonon, and also helper, in the Greek prostatus. She may have been a patron of some sort. In Greek cities, rulers routinely appointed patrons to look after the interests of foreigners. Therefore, Phoebe may have functioned in an official capacity to protect the rights and meet the needs of Centuria's numerous foreign visitors and resident Jews. She was obviously a person of significance who used her wealth and influence in the service of the Christians there. On this occasion, Phoebe had travelled to Rome, possibly on a business trip. Paul, knowing that she would pass through Corinth, took the opportunity to write to the Roman Christians. This letter commended Phoebe, its bearer, to the church in Rome. Paul knew that the Roman Christians would be able to provide Phoebe with hospitality and fellowship, as well as with advice on the state of Roman politics and law. Paul spoke highly of Phoebe. He introduced her to the Roman Christians as sister, servant, saint, and helper. Though the word here translated servant is also transliterated as deacon, note both generic and technical usages of the word. The Greek root means literally one who ministers or serves. Of course, taken in that sense, the word describes not only Phoebe and other deaconesses in the early church, but also countless women who have given and do give themselves untiringly to the work of the kingdom through ministries with the local church. However, the word is also used by some in a technical sense to describe a functional ecclesiastical office such as assigned to Stephen in Acts chapter 6 and verses 1 to 7. This office was created to equip a core of godly Christians to meet physical and social needs so that the apostles would not be pulled away from the primary ministry of the word. Acts chapter 6 and verse 4. Certainly, in the New Testament sense of deacon or deaconess, women can find ample opportunity for service, with or without an official title. On the other hand, if deacon or deaconess is considered a position of official spiritual leadership, there are definitely other passages for consideration. See 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verses 11 to 15, also 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verses 8 to 13. What's clear is that Paul noted that Phoebe was a highly capable Greek woman of significant social status, and apparently through the gospel she had also overcome the pagan origins of her name to gain status, in Paul's eyes, as pure and radiant light for Jesus. The second lady that we're looking at is a lady by the name of Junia. In Romans, Paul greeted a number of believers, including many women, by name. Romans 16 verses 3 to 15. One of his friends was Junia. Junia may have been a contraction of the male name Junianus, but some believe that Junia was a woman. For example, John Chrysostom so identified Junia and spoke in glowing terms of her service for the kingdom. The coupling of her name with Andronicus could suggest that the two were married. Andronicus and Junia were Paul's Jewish countrymen who had, at some time, been in prison with him. Their conversions were before Paul's, which indicates that they were among the earliest Palestinian Christians in Jerusalem. Paul stated that Andronicus and Junia were of note among the apostles. Whether referring to a man or woman, the exact nature of this apostleship is certainly not clear in the text. Apostle means sent one, and the term most often refers to the 12 disciples called and sent out by Jesus. Also to Matthias, who succeeded Judas, and to Paul himself. In this case, however, Paul seemingly used the word in a broader sense, not implying official status, but suggesting that the ones so designated were commissioned to spread the gospel, and in that sense had been sent by the Lord. Also, Barnabas was named an apostle without fulfilling the usual requirements. In any case, Junia was respected and recognized for unique commissioning as well as for outstanding contribution to the kingdom. If indeed a woman, this believer would further exemplify the already established fact that Christ commissioned both women and men to proclaim the gospel. Many thanks.